your mat. It doesn't matter if you haven't got a mat, just get a little bit of space on the floor. So we want to start with your feet shoulder width apart, and you're going to roll the shoulders back. We're going to take both arms overhead. So you're bringing your hands together and we're looking up towards your hands. So we're going to take a big breath in. As you exhale, we're trying to dive into a forward fold. So you can bend your knees as much as you need, close to the floor, and then drop the head and chest towards the knees. So we'll do that again. So all the way back up, and then come all the way back down. So from that position, your fingertips want to stay on the floor. It doesn't matter if you need to bend the knees, but we're going to try and rock up as high as you can onto your toes. And then drop the heels, and you're going to try and lift the toes. We'll do that again. So drop the toes, lift the heels. Drop the heels, and then lift the toes. So your feet are flat. We're going to bring your hands either side of your feet. So your right foot wants to stay, and you're going to take a big step back with your left foot towards the back of the mat. Your left hand wants to stay, and you're going to lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. Okay, so we're going to look down towards your left hand. I'm going to try and hover your left hand a couple of inches off the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to lower both hands. So you're basically resting on that front leg, and you're going to try and take the arms away from the floor. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, push down with your right foot, and you're going to try and lift both arms overhead. So you're coming into your lunge position. We're going to try and lower the left knee towards the floor, and then straighten. One more time, try and lower, and then straighten. Drop the hands to the floor. You're going to step your left foot in to join your right, and then left foot stays. Take a big step back with your right. Okay, so your right hand stays. Lift your left arm up nice and high. We're going to try and look down. Hover your right hand for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower both hands. Take the arms away from the floor. Big breath in. As you exhale, push down with your left foot to lift the arms overhead. And then lower the right knee towards the floor. And then straighten. And again, try and lower. And then straighten. Drop the hands to the floor. Step your right foot in. And then just lift all the way back to a standing position. Okay, so I'm going to bring both hands in towards the chest. So hands to heart center. We're going to try and keep your right foot where it is. I'm going to lift your left knee in towards the chest. Keep the hands at heart center. You're going to try and take a big step back with your left foot. So we're going to try and step the left knee back in towards the chest. So we'll do that again. So big step back. And then back in towards the chest. This time we're taking a big step back with your left foot. And we're taking the arms out to the side. We're going to plant your left heel to the floor. And you're turning the upper body. So your right arm's in line with your right leg, and you're trying to bend your right leg. Keep that left leg straight. We're going to turn your right palm. Take your left hand on top of the left leg, and you're reaching up with your right hand. And then come back into your warrior two. Drop the right elbow to the right knee, and you're going to try and reach your left arm overhead. And then we're pushing back into your warrior two. Come back into your lunge, so come up off your back heel, hands to heart center, and we're stepping the left knee back in towards the chest. Nice, guys. Lower the left foot, and then just shake out your right leg. So we're going to do the same on the left side. So left foot stays, hands in towards the chest, right knee comes in towards the chest. So big step back with your right foot, and then step your right knee back in, and again, so big step back, and then back in. So the third time, you're going to hold your lunge. So big step back, take the arms out to the side, plant the right heel, and you're into your warrior two. So keep the left leg bent, right leg wants to stay straight, and you're looking over the middle finger of your left hand. So I'm going to turn your left palm, take your right hand on top of the right leg, and you're looking up towards your left. Back into your warrior two. Left elbow drops onto your left knee, and you're going to reach your right arm overhead. And then we're pushing back into your warrior two. Come into your lunge, so up off your back heel. Bring both hands to heart center, step your right knee back in. Nice, guys, and then lower. Okay, so now we have a little bit of balance and on single leg strength. So To start with, we're going to take the arms out to the side. You're going to create a fist with the hands. So you're trying to tense the upper body. I'm going to just lift your left knee in towards the chest. Okay, so you can either stay there, or we're going to try and close your eyes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then open the eyes and lower. Switch side, so left foot stays, right knee in towards the chest. Try and squeeze the entire body. Close the eyes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower. Right foot wants to stay, and you're going to lift your left foot off the floor. So from there, with both hands, you're going to try and tap the floor as far forward as you can, and then come all the way back up without dropping your left foot. Right hand, try and tap as far right as you can, and then back up, and then as far left as you can using your left hand, and then come back up. Lower the left foot, and then switch sides. So right foot off the floor, try and tap as far forward as you can using both hands, and then back up. As far left as you can using your left hand, back up, and then as far right as you can using your right hand, and then back up. Good, so lower the right foot. So next we're going to just work on balance. So we're going to step your right foot forward, hands are coming to heart center, and you're going to keep a slight bend in that right leg. We're going to try and lift your left leg off the floor. So this position is called your warrior 3. We're going to try and hold for as close to a minute as you can on each side. So if it's too hard, just drop the leg, shake it off, come back into it. But you're trying to keep that left leg off the floor. So we're trying to create a T shape with the body. So ideally you're dropping the chest halfway to the floor and you're lifting that left leg. So you're halfway, about 30 seconds to go. Guys, last 15 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and then lower. Nice, guys. Shake out your right leg, and then we'll do the same on your left. So left foot steps forward, hands to heart center. Take a slight bend in that left leg. I want to try and lift your right leg off the floor. So same again, you're going to try and keep a slight bend in that left leg, but keep that right leg straight. And ideally, you're dropping the chest about halfway towards the floor. Keep trying to lift that right leg off the floor. Okay, so we're halfway, 30 seconds. I know it feels like a really long minute. Nice, guys. We've got 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and then lower. Awesome. So shaking your left leg. Last bit on your single leg work. We're going to work more on single leg strength. So we're going to step your right foot forward. And we're going to take a step back with your left foot. You're going to try and drop the left knee to the floor. Okay, so it's actually harder than it looks. We want to keep the right foot flat, and you're going to try and lean forward. As you lean forward, you're lifting your left foot off the floor. Okay, so from that position, we're going to try and stand without dropping your left foot. So you're trying to stand without dropping the left foot. It is really hard. We're going to try and do that one more time. So step the left foot back, lower the knee. Try and lean forward to lift the foot. As you stand, you're trying not to drop the foot. Thanks, guys. And then switch sides. So left foot stays. Step your right foot back, lower the knee. Lean forward to lift the right foot. As you stand, try not to drop the foot. And then one more time. Step the foot back, lower the knee. Lean forward to lift the foot. And then as you stand, we're trying not to drop. Awesome. And then lower. So we're going to come towards the back of the mat. So just make sure you've got space in front of you. Feet are shoulder width apart. All we're going to do is walk forward into a position called your downward dog. We're going to drop the hands and you're going to walk your hands forward. So your hands are going to come about shoulder width apart. Hips up in the air, and you're going to try and look towards the knees. Okay, so from that position, keep the arms straight. As you inhale, we're coming forward into a plank position. So your shoulders are coming over your hands. And then as you exhale, we're pushing back into your downward dog. And again, so inhale, come forward. And then exhale to push back. This time we're coming forward into your plank position. We're going to drop the knees to the floor. And you're going to lower into a push-up position. So you're squeezing the elbows in to try and lower the chest, but you're hovering off the floor. And then we're going to try and drop the hips to lift the chest. So you're arching the back. As you exhale, tuck the toes under to push back into your downward dog. So that's called your vinyasa. We're going to do that 3 times. So same again. Inhale forward to your plank position. This time you've got the option of not dropping the knees. If you can, lower into a push-up position. Drop the hips to lift the chest. Exhale, push back into your downward dog. And then on your last one, we're going to try and hold each position for 5 seconds. So downward dog for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plank position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push-up position, option of the knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then drop the hips, lift the chest for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push back into your downward dog. We're going to lift your right leg up nice and high. From there, you're going to try and bring your right knee towards your right elbow. And then push back up. And then we're trying to bring your right knee towards your left elbow. So try and twist the body and push back up. Step your right foot as close to outside your right hand as you can. So it doesn't matter how you get there. If you can't step forward, just walk, or you can pull the foot forward. But you're dropping the left knee to the floor. So in your lunge, you want your right ankle to slightly in front of your right knee. And you're trying to let that left hip sink down towards the floor. So your arms are staying straight. We're going to try and roll on the outside of your right foot. And then back to center. And again, outside of your right foot, back to center. So the third time, you're going to take your right hand on top of the right knee. As you roll on the outside of your right foot, you're gently pushing your right knee out. I'm going to try and look over your right shoulder, so you're trying to twist the body. Okay, so from there, as you inhale, we're lifting the right arm up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, we're trying to lower the right elbow towards the floor, so as low as you can. And again, so inhale back up, and then exhale all the way back down. And then come up onto your hand. We're going to plant your right foot, so the foot's flat. You're going to tuck the back toes under and lift the left knee off the floor. I'm going to rock forwards and backwards 5 times. And then from there, you're going to start lifting the hips to step back into your downward dog. So we'll do the same in your left. So left leg up, left knee towards your left elbow, and then push back up. And then left knee towards your right elbow, and back up. Step the left foot as close to outside your left hand as you can, and lower your right knee to the floor. So again, just make sure your left ankle slightly in front of your left knee. Arms are staying straight. I'm going to roll on the outside of your left foot. Back to center. And again, outside of your left foot. And center. So the third time, left hand on top of the left knee. Try and push the left knee out. And then look over your left shoulder. So as you inhale, we're going to lift the left arm. Exhale to try and lower the left elbow towards the floor. One more time, so try and lift. And then we're going to try and lower. Come back up onto your hand. So I'm going to plant your left foot so the foot's flat. Tuck the back toes under to lift the right knee. And then rock forwards and backwards. Okay, and then from there, you're going to start lifting the hips to step back into your downward dog. And we're going to try and walk your feet in towards your hands. We're going to stay on the toes, and you're going to try and lower into a squat position, but you're staying on the toes. So knees are out. It's up to you if you want to try this or not. So you can either keep the hands down. If you want to work on balance, you can bring both arms forward and hold that position. Or if you want to try an arm balance, we're going to come into a position called crow. So you want your hands just slightly wider than the shoulders, and you're trying to grip the fingers into the floor. So the fingers are actually what balances you. So we're going to bend the elbows. As you rock the chest over the hands, you're trying to lift the hips up nice and high. So you can either hold that position, you can try and lift your right foot off the floor and then switch. or you can try and lift both feet off the floor, so you're balancing on your hands. So just make sure that the fingers are really squeezed into the floor, and we want to try and keep the hips high to try and lift your feet up. Nice, guys. And then when you're done, we're just going to come into a seated position. So any way you can, we're just going to bring your legs forward. Okay, so I'm going to work a little on the hamstrings and your hip flexor strength on this one. So we're going to try and bring both arms forward. We're going to try and reach as far forward as you can. You're going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and then pull back up. You're going to drop the hands either side of the legs. We're going to point your right foot. You're going to try and lift your right leg for 3, 2, 1. Switch sides, so arms forward. Reach forward for 3, 2, 1. Back up, drop the hands. Lift the left leg for 3, 2, 1, and lower. Arms forward, reach forward for 3, 2, 1. Push back up, drop the hands. And you're going to try and push down to lift both legs for 3, 2, 1, and lower. We're going to do exactly the same thing, but with your legs wide. So you're working more on the adductors as well as the hip flexors. So arms forward. We're going to try and reach forward for 3, 2, 1. Pull back up. You're going to drop the fingertips on the floor in between the legs. You're going to try and lift your right leg. 3, 2, 1. If you get cramp, it is perfectly normal to get cramp doing these, by the way. So arms forward, same again. Reach forward for 3, 2, 1. Back up, drop the hands. Lift the left leg for 3, 2, 1, and lower. Last one, arms forward. Reach forward for 3, 2, 1. Back up. Drop the hands. So we're going to try and lift both legs, but if you need to, you can bend the legs to make it a bit easier. But try and take a big breath in and then push down. Lift both legs for 3, 2, 1, and lower. Awesome. Well done, guys. So bring your feet together. We're coming into your slower stuff now. So more of your relaxation and stretching. So you're going to try and rock onto your back. Bring both knees in towards the chest and just drop the head and shoulders back. So we'll gently rock from side to side. And then from there, you're just going to straighten your left leg out onto the floor. So you can relax that left leg. We're going to hold underneath your right leg. So you're interlacing the fingers to pull that right knee in towards the chest. And then you're going to try and straighten the right leg as much as you can. And then bend. And again, try and straighten. And bend. One more time. Try and straighten. And then bend. So your right hand comes on top of the right knee. You're going to take your left arm out towards your left side. And then just try and gently pull the right knee out towards your right shoulder. Good, and then come back in towards the chest. We're going to take your left hand on top of the right knee. Your right arm wants to reach out. And then try and pull the knee as far over towards the left as you can. I want to try and look towards your right hand. If it's really uncomfortable to look towards your right, just look up towards the ceiling. Okay, and then coming back to center, so I'm going to switch sides to straighten your right leg out. So left knee in towards the chest, I'm going to hold underneath your left leg, pull the knee in. I'm going to try and straighten the left leg as much as you can. And then bend. And again, try and straighten. And bend. One more time. And then bend. So left hand on top of the left knee. Right arm drops out. We're going to try and pull the left knee out towards your left shoulder. And then come back in towards the chest. So right hand on top of the left knee. Left arm drops out and try and pull the knee as far over towards the right as you can. And we're trying to look towards your left. If not, just look up towards the ceiling. Okay, and then back to center. We're going to bring both knees in towards the chest. So hands are on top of the knees. We're just going to pull the knees wide so you can drop your feet wide to the floor. So it's feet wide and you're going to let your knees drop in together. If you can, try and take both arms overhead and you can hold the hands. If you really struggle with shoulder mobility, just take the arms out to the side, but we want to be able to relax in that position. So try and relax the shoulders and the neck. So keeping your feet wide, you want to drop both knees over towards your right side. And you can either stay there, or you've got the option of bringing your right foot on top of your left leg. So you're just easing your left knee towards the floor. And then back to center, so feet nice and wide. Drop both knees over towards your left. And again, you can either stay there or bring your left foot on top of your right leg. Okay, and then coming back to center, we're going to start walking your feet in together. So you're trying to bring your heels together to let your knees drop out. From that position, you can keep your arms overhead if you want to, or take your arms out to the side or alongside the body. But we want your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Just let the fingers curl in naturally. I want to start closing the eyes here. So you can either carry on with your normal breathing, or as you inhale, so as you breathe in, we're going to try and inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. And either keep that rhythm going or just go back to your normal breathing. But keeping the eyes closed, we're going to start straightening the legs out in front of you. We're going to try and squeeze the legs and squeeze the glutes as hard as you can for 3, 2, 1. And then relax the legs. Imagine they're really heavy and let them melt into the mat. We're going to gently start moving your fingers and moving the toes. Take both arms overhead. So we're going to hold the hands together, bring your legs together and come into a full body stretch. You're going to stretch the body nice and long and then relax into the mat. We're going to take a big inhale, so big breath in. Exhale as hard as you can. One more time, so big inhale and exhale as hard as you can. Gently bring both knees in towards the chest. So going to hug your knees to rock from side to side. And then in your own time, we're going to rock up to a cross-leg seated position. So you can keep the eyes closed if you want to. We're just going to bring your hands on top of the knees, palms facing the ceiling. I want to roll the shoulders back. We're going to lower your right ear to your right shoulder. Bring your right hand on top of the head to add some weight. And then lift the left shoulder, push the shoulder back and lower as low as you can. And then back to center, so left ear to your left shoulder, left hand on top of the head, lift the right shoulder, push it back and then lower. Come back to center, we'll roll both shoulders back one more time. Bring your hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you guys.